first of all, I just wanted to introduce a little bit the labs, because for many of you, I mean, you probably don't know that Accenture has been doing applied R&D for more than 30 years. Think about it, 30 years of applied R&D. And this is all about the fact that what we're looking at, we're always looking at what's the next technology that's going to change the business of our clients and how we want to be ahead of it. So for 30 years, we've been doing that. And when I say applied research, is that it's not like fundamental research, because I would love, to do fundamental research. Spend like 10 or 15 years, basically, to try to look in some labs and everything what we can come up with. But it's really coming up with something that is going to be into fruition like in 5 years' time. It's something that really is going to impact something. So the thing that I just wanted to introduce first is our labs. And so we have 7 labs in the world, and they scatter all over the place, So we have one in Bangalore. As you can hear, I'm French, so I'm coming from Sophia Antipolis, South France, where we have a lab hall. But I spent like 6 years in Silicon Valley, and we have labs also in San Francisco, labs in Tel Aviv, the cybersecurity heart of the world, and everywhere. And all those labs are connected to each other, and they cover those research groups that you see behind. We talk about digital experience. I'll talk about that today with you. We talk about artificial intelligence. We talk about systems and platforms. We talk about application engineering, security. And we're just launching 2 new research. One on biocomputing, and you'll see that this applies definitely to insurance business and also material science. Now, one thing that is very important for us is not so much working on one specific technology. What's more important for us is to work on the combinatorial effect of technology, and that's the name of the game. The combinatorial of technology changed the game. And so what we've developed is that we've developed what we call cross-group initiatives, when we look at how we're going to combine all those technologies to change the game at our clients across every industries. Now, on top, so you'll see that Industry X.0 is one of them, and I'll come back to that because you may not think about it, but Industry X.0, like the Germans say, Industry 4.0, it's going to be a game changer. You think that internet has changed our life, Industry X.0 will go further. And I'll explain to you what's going to be the challenge and what's the opportunity for your industry. Okay? Good. So, every year, for the last 19 years, and not 30 years, but 19 years, Accenture is delivering or publishing what we call a tech vision. And our tech vision looks at trends, technology trends, that we believe will impact the business of our clients in the 3 to 5 years' time. Again, those technology trends need to be global. They need to be not specific to a specific industry. They need to be cross-industry. They need to be really endorsed by our clients. They need to be endorsed also by luminaries. Because this is, when we work on this tech vision, it's a really big crowdsourcing process. This year we've been serving 6,600 IT executive and business executive all over the world. Small, medium business companies and large companies, obviously. And looking with them is like what matters, what they see. And I think to have this industry, cross-industry fertilization thinking and stuff like that, help us basically to come up with what we believe is a very solid technology vision. So 19 years of technology vision. And with the technology vision comes an agenda, obviously, a plan for actions. What you're going to do in the next 100 days and what you're going to be doing for next year. That's important as well. Obviously, this technology vision will help us to focus our research agenda and to serve you guys better. So, I want to go back to previous tech visions, and I think there was like really a tipping point in 2013. Every technology vision has a major theme, and in 2013 we said every business is a digital business. And I remember at the time I was serving oil and gas clients. I won't tell you the names, but you can think about the major one like Shell, the BP, and everything. And you go to them and you start talking to them, and it's just like, you know what? Every business is a digital business. And they look at me and say, Mark, come on. I was just like, I'm running my business here. I'm extracting oil from earth and everything. And this is not a technical business. It is a technical business. Everything is driven by technology. Absolutely everything. Our life, our job, everything. And they recognized that. They started to recognize that when they started to see basically big leaders in the media technology, in the digital transformations like the Google, the Amazon, and everything, to try to eat their field little by little. And that's what they started to see. And this is like, it was a big wake-up call for them. And what's interesting is that the year after, we started to discuss about from how you move from digitally disrupted to being a disruptor yourself. How you're going to embrace basically all the digital transformation, all the social platforms you need to leverage, all those different like new type of architecture, talking about cloud. They had not moved to clouds. And I'm talking about oil and gas, but it applies, I had the luck, to serve 500 clients, so I've been working on many, many different industries, and it was exactly the same everywhere. What was really interesting is that after that, when they started basically to work on the digital transformation, they realized that they had to do more, to create new product, new services, build a partnership with our clients. That's where they started to discuss about ecosystem. What other company can we partner with? Like Mercedes, who's trying to partner with Google. You say, why to partner with Google for what? Well, because Google just bought Nest, the thermostat. And so if you connect the applications that run your Mercedes to the thermostat, when you arrive in the garage, then you can set up the temperature exactly what you want. So the whole experience of driving your car go beyond that. You go to your house. So all this kind of partnership, this is what we started to see. And then very quickly in 2016, it was all about people. So when I toured the world, obviously I visited my labs, I meet with many clients, and I saw a shift in 2016. There was so much technology going on that many C-levels started to discuss about what about people? What's going to happen? They were in what we call a culture shock in terms of digital transformation. There was so much to do. Where to start? What to do? How to address my own worker and my consumer as well. Now the big question is, for 2019, is that what's next? Clients have been started to do their digital transformation for more than 6 years already. What's next? And we believe that we're entering what we call a post-digital era. And for many of our clients, it seems to be strange because they're still in the middle of digital transformation. Of course, I have some clients that say, I'm done. I've done all my transformation. I don't believe that. But think about it. If you look at the amount of money that is poured into digital transformation worldwide across all industry today, every year, is $1.1 trillion. We're not yet there. There's still a lot of work to do. But still, it's not because we're doing it that we should not be thinking about what's coming next. And that's exactly what our labs also is supposed to look at and advise our clients to get prepared, get ready. And so what we see is two things. Number one is like massive individualization. Us customer, we're asking more and more from companies that serve us in terms of product, in terms of service they deliver us. We're not talking about mass customization here. I'm talking about hyper-personalization. I want exactly the product or the service that fit exactly my need. The second thing is that I want that service to be delivered on demand. Instant on demand is the name of the game. We talk about Amazon, talk about Alibaba and everything. Our kids, they want everything on demand. We want everything on demand. We consume like crazy, we send it back and everything. We call that instant gratification. I don't want to say it's good, it's just the way it is. Now, what we see is that we see many companies that do one well, but not the other one. And then the company that will mix the two together will change the world. So if you look at Amazon, obviously an instant gratification, instant demand, they're hard to beat. But this is very predefined product references that they sell. If you look at other companies like ZozoTown, a Japanese company, what they were doing is that they were selling you basically what they call spandex suits. So it's as a retailer, you can buy clothes, and you want the clothes to be really perfectly matching your morphology. So what they send you is that they send you basically a suit that you're going to wear, and there's like dots in there, and basically those dots are sensors. And they give you an application on the phone, and what you do is just you turn around like that, and they 3D scan you with the precision of the millimeter. With that, you have your profile, and then you can order online. They use artificial intelligence to find your taste, and you have just the best stuff that suits you. This is how it works. Hyper-personalization combined with instant on-demand delivers what I call momentary market. At the time you do something, we bring you something, and you don't even think about it. We can even predict what you think, and we deliver that to you. It drives emotion. Emotion is not transaction, it's completely different. And that's exactly what company will be looking for. Sam's Club is a retailer in the US. What they do is that they do something that every retailer is doing, is that they learn about you through data analytics and online. When you go shopping, they know exactly the shopping carts that you're going to use every week. I mean, we've been doing that for more than 10 years. No big deal. Now, what's starting to be really interesting is that when you go and then you order basically your shopping cart or online, then they can deliver it to you. But if you go directly to the store and then you have not entered your shopping cart, they have a mobile phone app that they give you with the shopping cart that has been pre-fetched already, I mean, with all the ingredients in it. But wherever you are, they have your localization. They can tell you in the store where you are the best navigation plan to get all your goodies. And then you're out at the door faster than anyone else. Instant delivery on demand. And they look at how we can leverage these applications to change your moment of shopping. And your reality will change completely. So shaping the reality of people is the name of the game for post-digital era. And I'll talk about that. Obviously, everything needs to be supported by trust and responsibility. This is obviously, you can come up with the best product, the best service in the world. If there's no trust, no responsibility, with all the power that's going to be provided through this technology, there's no success. And we'll come back to the partnership. Partnership is what our clients are asking. You know, I've been more than 25 years at Accenture, and I saw basically a lot of people moving into Accenture. And teenagers and millenniums and everything change. It's all about purpose. It's all about partnership. It's all about what you're going to do for me, okay? And this is what you do for your workers, your employees, and this is what you get to do for your customers as well. So we'll come back to that. We'll discuss this, okay? Now, this year we have 5 technology trends. And obviously, we're not going to go through all of them right now, okay? But we're going to take a few of them. And I'm going to start with the first one. So first one is called dark power. Don't worry, I'll explain what it is. It's dark with a Q, not with a K. Normally, I'm wearing like a black suit, like dark, and like I try to be like a bit more like a neutral this time. Get to know me. I'll talk about what it is. The third one is human plus worker. And by the way, there's a book from our CTO, Paul Doherty, outside on the booth of Accenture. I guess you'll be able to get one. Secure us to secure me. And the last one is my market. And so the first technology trend is very technology-driven. It's a lot of technology that I try to explain how this technology and the combinatorial effect of technology will change the game in the post-digital era. And the 4 other technology trends is more about what means post-digital era from a customer perspective, from an employee perspective, from security threat, and then going back to this momentary market. What means momentary market? What is my market? What it means really? Okay. All right? Okay. I want to go over first dark. Okay, dark sounds like really, really cryptic. Okay, understanding the DNA of dark. In fact, if you're familiar with the technology vision, in 2016, when we say every business is a real business, we didn't talk about dark. The acronym at the time was SMAC. It doesn't help much. But SMAC stands for social media, mobility, analytics, and cloud. And we believe at the time that this was the technology that you had to combine together to change the game in your business, to enter into your digital transformation. And if you look at what's going on today, dark is the next generation of SMAC in terms of technology. So it stands for distributed ledger. You remember I talked about responsibility, trust, how you want to put that in place. And I'm not talking about blockchain. I'm talking about like the next step of architecture. Okay, distributed ledger. How you share data with the right privacy, the right reliability, the right traceability. Second one is artificial intelligence, moving from analytics to artificial intelligence. Extended reality is the next vehicle to interact with machine, with people, training people, and so forth, okay? And quantum computing. Think about cloud as super powerful environment to run your business. Quantum computing is going to be the next one. You could see even quantum computing is a coprocessor of the cloud industry. It's massive. And you saw like some announcement from Google last week related to cloud supremacy. I'll go back to that. Okay. So what I want to tell you is that all this technology today are technology that are meaningful for you, for your business. I'll explain why. Distributed ledger. Again, the idea is to have like big database, if you want, that is shared by different partners, and it is completely managed in a reliable fashion. Okay, we can trace, we know exactly, there's no changes and everything. That's exactly what we want. And if you want to exchange information, this is exactly what we're going to see. And we're going to see that more and more, this blockchain to be delivered. Blockchain is not encrypting data. Blockchain is more tracing the data. But you can connect blockchain with homomorphic encryption, for example, to have the both of both worlds. And we see that happening already. You know, Accenture is working with Zurich Benelux to do traceability and management of 30 bonds. This is a platform that exists, and we've been testing that already for 2 years. And we're extending that. Blockchain is going to be the name of the game for every exchange, transaction. You hear me here. I'll come back in 2 years. You'll see that it's going to be real because we see that more and more. And I don't believe, to be honest with you, that's going to be more in the financial industry. I believe it's going to be in the manufacturing industry. The reason why is that it's extremely competitive in the finance organization, and they have a hard time to embrace at scale this platform. But you'll see that in the manufacturing industry, where partners need to collaborate together to build a finished product, you'll see that more and more. Artificial intelligence, it's everywhere. Our labs are looking to the next generation of artificial intelligence. Everyone talks about machine learning today. It's much more than machine learning. There's knowledge graph, and so combining the two things together. And obviously, we have many of our clients, AXA XL, for example, is leveraging natural language processing as well as machine learning to pre-feed forms, you know, for their employees, I mean, to work basically in, you know, like feeding all the forms related to commercial and business properties and all those things. So we take away the core of some task and we just manage the interesting stuff. For many years already, we can take pictures of your cars, basically when there's a damage. With machine learning, we know exactly how much it's going to be costing, basically the claims and what you need to do about it and stuff like that. So this is something pretty well known. But we want to go to the next step. We want to use virtual assistant much more in different processes. We want to have what I call conversational virtual assistant, not the Alexa of this world. Alexa is okay-ish, but I mean, all those virtual assistants today, I mean, not Alexa, not picking on Alexa or Google Home and everything, but they're pretty dumb. I mean, this is voice command type of things. We want to have a real conversation with them. We want them to think further. It's called generalization. It's called inference. This is something that we're going to be looking at. And then quantum computing, okay? Extended reality, I'll come back to that. I think extended reality has a big potential. We look at extended reality from XR, VR, but we're looking at beyond that. I think visualization is one aspect of it. Audio is another aspect, but olfactive sense. There's olfactive platform, you can smell things directly, give you the whole experience. That's the best memory, by the way. And haptic sensing as well. If you combine haptics, olfactive, visualization, and audio, then you're there. And this is exactly what we're going to be looking at. So in the context of insurance, you can train your people, basically, to do assessment, for example, in a refinery. If there's a damage in a refinery, why don't you send some people, basically, after you have 3D scanned the refinery, and then transform that into Unity VR world where people will be able to understand exactly what's going on. We're going to see that more and more. There are companies like Spot-In, for example, what they do is that they survey all damage through crowdsourcing, people using their phone, using their drones. They use crowdsourcing, and that's how basically they collect all the information. Video stream real time, and they can advise exactly what you need to do. You don't need basically to send an expert over there. From a distance, they will tell you exactly what to do. We call that coach over the shoulder. Coach over the shoulder is, or connected worker, is a use case that is the most sold right now in oil and gas industry. Because the new generation is coming, and they're versed to this technology. And the old generation, they have all the knowledge. So the guy is sitting on his couch, he's retired, continue working, and you advise the young guys basically on what he needs to do. That's exactly what's going to happen. Last one is quantum computing. Our company has, our labs have started like 3 years ago to work on quantum computing. Quantum computing is going to change the game. And I didn't think about it, but we have already applications or pilots running, for example, in drug discovery. You know, we've been working with Biogen to work on biocomputing to accelerate drug discovery. It's massive, the power, the computing power that those machines have. And you'll think about it that in the insurance industry, some of your partners already, or your competitors are already looking at quantum computing for risk management. How you can collect all the information from the weather, from everywhere and everything to try to predict what's going to happen. This is something we're doing in the financial industry. Managing portfolio for a longer term, longer time frame, and then with more shares. Our labs have identified more than 150 plus use cases across every industry that leverage quantum computing. We have 2 patents already, a third one in its way. So there's a lot of activities there. And I encourage you to visit some of our labs to discuss that. But you see the numbers. 71 insurers agree that combination of the dark technology will transform or bring extensive change to their business. Again, the combinatorial effect is key here. Now I want to move forward and I want to go to the Get to Know Me. Okay. And Get to Know Me is a really interesting trend. Get to Know Me is all about hyper-personalization. And we talk about standard demographic. That's how basically I believe you have all your ABAC, your patterns and everything that you're going to do your risk management, everything, because you know that population, this is how it works, this is where they're located and so forth. But we can do much more. We're shifting today from what we call standard demographic to behavioral demographic. You remember I said that technology is everywhere. We use technology all the time. And we're leaving trace behind us. So the idea is to collect all these traces and to understand and to predict what you're doing. Understand what you're doing and even predict your future, what you might be doing next. That is Get to Know Me. And we'll see more and more platforms coming to play like this. I mean, we talk about John Hancock. They've been partnering with different fitness companies and so forth, and providing a partnership to their customers. The more you go to the gym, the less you have to pay for your health insurance, because you're probably supposed to be more healthy, but the guy never goes. And then we can trace that if you want to, where you eat, what you do. And I know that there's a whole data privacy that comes to play here. But believe it or not, when there's a real good service that is provided to your client, and then you provide a transparency what you're going to do with the data and everything, then your customers are listening to you. Irish Life Group, with their My Life application, I think that's great. This My Life application is really a partnership I was talking to you about. How you connect the dots between you and your clients. And you help them basically to be successful in their training plan, then obviously they will help you back basically to probably extend some of the portfolio or your service or what you're doing. But I want to talk to you about something else. When I came here, I talked about, should I give a lot of examples related to industry? And I don't think that this is your industry. I don't think this is appropriate. It's like when I travel all over the world and I meet with C-level, they always tell me, don't talk to me about my industry. Talk to me about the other guys, what the other industries are doing. And so I want to talk to you about this because I think this is important. And I was mentioning to you about Industry X.0, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. The digital toaster. And you may be wondering what this guy is going to talk to me about the digital toaster. You don't realize that I told you that the next revolution is Industry X.0. Call it 4.0 if you're German, 5.0. I got sick about all those numbers. I call it X. No numbers anymore. And the X is that because it's cross-industry. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm telling you today here, among us, we're living a century of renaissance. It's a century where we are creating new tools that will change completely the process of creativity and manufacturing, and we'll create new product and new service with a completely different experience, something you've never seen before. Never. And this is my digital toaster. And the reason why I'm explaining the digital toaster is that the toaster that you used today, this morning, probably before coming here, if you toast some bread, is not the same that you're going to have tomorrow. Why? Because the one that you're going to have tomorrow is much more intelligent. It's going to be 24 hours connected on the internet. He knows you. He knows what you like. He can anticipate your need. And you're going to be able to connect it to a lot of service. But I want to go further than that. When I explain digital toaster to my mom and Industry X.0, that's the picture I'm using. And Get to Know Me is all about that. When we're going to manufacture product of the future, where we'll have to rethink about what we call a Doodle Thread, all the different activities that we need to do from the manufacturing, from specification to design engineering, to manufacturing, to delivery, to maintenance, to retirement. All this needs to be thought with people mindset, customer at the center of it, during the design. During the design of the product, we'll get our people, our customer, to experience what's going to be the digital toaster. And in fact, to make it like even better for them, we will build a digital twin. You see that here, this little guy. That's the digital twin. Yeah, there's a laser in fact. Look at that. That's my digital twin. Here. I have it during the engineering. Why I'm telling you this is that you remember I told you XR, VR, audio feedback, haptics, smelling. I can today immerse you into a world where I'll show you my digital toaster. And why I'm telling you this is that it's exactly the same for insurance products. You need to immerse your clients into what you're going to deliver for them. Explain what will come. And get their feedback so that we can change the product almost real time. And push the manufacturing till the end. Now, when we have manufactured a product, the digital twin stays there. In fact, you don't know, if you've been flying here, at the same time your plane was in the sky, it was flying on a computer. Your digital twin of your plane was flying on a computer. Get that. You know why? Predictive monitoring. And this is exactly the same for digital twin. We'll predict when it's going to fail, and we'll send you parts or design of the parts you're going to 3D print plus a YouTube video to do the change. Why I'm telling you this is that because you build a partnership with your client. And eventually, we're going to connect you to a new service. Healthcare service, health insurance. You've been toasting too many bread today or yesterday. Maybe I can do something for you. And that's what we need to be forward thinker. What are the services we're going to connect to all those products? What are the services we're going to connect during the way we're going to build basically this toaster? But it could be a refinery. It could be so many things. Thousands and thousands of people working on a site. How are you going to travel? How you can provide risk management with all the data analytics we're going to be able to gather. Technology today can provide us with all this behavioral understanding of what people are doing. And then we can upgrade the level of service that we deliver to them. So that was the idea of my digital toaster. I want you to think about it. And without further ado, I want to move to the last trends that I wanted to cover with you today. It's my market. So remember, I told you about hyper-personalization. My toaster, I can hyper-personalize you exactly the way you want it and deliver that exactly what you want, the way you want it. And I will hyper-personalize also the service that I deliver to you. My market. Instant on demand as well. I think what would be even better is that it's great that people give you something that you have ordered that's pretty cool. And if it's exactly tailored to what you need, it's even better. Would it be even better than they can guess what you need and eventually deliver that to you? And if it's for free, it's even better. Some companies have been trying that. And I'll show you at the end, it was like a quick video on a company that's been doing that for some time and testing all those kind of different models. I think that's pretty exciting. But my market is something that we're going to see more and more. Okay? It's all about instant on-demand, hyper-personalization, predicting what people want, and also building this partnership. And we're going to see that more and more. You know, there's like 5 years' time, there's a company called Beam. Have you heard about Beam? Yeah, they were doing like toothbrush, Bluetooth toothbrush. What the heck? What are we going to do with a Bluetooth toothbrush? Okay, Bluetooth on top of that toothbrush. But the thing is, a few years after, they decided basically to partner with an insurance company and develop basically a whole dental care insurance concept, which is you brush your tooth using my toothbrush. Okay, I will analyze how you do that, and I will teach you how to brush it better. And then I guarantee that the policy you have to pay on the dental care is going to go down because you go less to the dentist. And this is what we're going to see more and more and more and more. At the moment you need it, then I provide you the help. Trove, have you heard about Trove? Trove platform based in San Francisco. I buy something, I want it to be insured just for the time I need it and when I need it. I lend my bicycle to someone for 2 days, boom. I use a mobile phone app just to decide when I want to share it, when I want to stop it. On demand, when I need it. And that's the name of the game. Okay, so with this, I want to show you this little video. It's 2 or 3 minutes, I think it's 5 minutes, so we'll shorten it a little bit. But I want you to look at that. I told to you about technology, combinatorial effect of technology, driving emotion, predicting what people want, even without knowing that they've been asking for it, but they don't remember it, and delivering that. Watch it.
'Twas a night before Christmas, and all across the land, the good folks of WestJet had a miracle planned. On the eve before flying, the guests were in their beds. Visions of traveling danced in their heads. While out on the runway, something secret had arrived. It was left in the lounge. 'Twas a Christmas surprise.
Christmas this year, Cohen? A choo-choo train? Ho, ho, ho! A classic! Do you like Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas.
What would Mommy and Daddy like for Christmas?
Big TV.
Yeah, big TV.
Ho, ho, ho! A big TV! You're looking fabulous!
Oh, I need to.
It's okay if you just want to stare at me as well. Ho, ho, ho!
What I need is new socks and underwear.
An Android tablet.
Is that William beside you? And Cameron?
Some Santa boots.
Stuffing store.
While the guests told their Christmas wishes to good old St. Nick, WestJetters took notes and got ready to shop quick. It was a great rush with the 2 flights in the air to get all those presents. Not a moment to spare.
The sleigh bells ring and there's children singing tonight. Lights are brighter, I know it's a beautiful sight. Snowflakes fall in the world, it's snowy and white. And Santa's coming to town, he's coming tonight.
Okay, Thomas, let's get it.
Christmas cheer and celebrations all across the line. This time of year, expectations all for the man.
Thanks for flying with us at WestJet. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of your flight.
Happy faces were all so merry and bright. Santa's coming to town, he's coming tonight.
But was everything ready? We all had to wait for the moment of truth at Carousel 8.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
I'm going to move forward, but I think you understand the point. Technology trace. You leave behind what you want, what you wish. We can find it. You can even say it and you don't remember it. And then we find the right moment to deliver something that you don't even expect, and you create the emotion. And this They've been trying to continue doing that. Now they go to the next level. They really need people in the world, people that have never seen each other for so many years. They say, I'd like to see, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. And they come during Christmas. I mean, they do some amazing stuff. So forget about this. I think it's a principle, and try to understand exactly what we're talking about here. It's like the momentary market is exactly what's going to happen. KLM did a very similar stuff. It's called KLM Surprise. When you're waiting at the gates to board in your plane, at the same time, they go to all your social media trace, and they understand exactly for which reason you're going to the place you're going to take the plane for. And then they go shopping in the airport and deliver to you the good just before you take the plane. Crazy. People got crazy about it. Think about what we could do for insurance. All right. So I go back to my 5 trends. Tag power, get to know me. We didn't talk about so much about human plus worker, but I talked a little bit through connected worker, extended reality, and so forth. Secure us to secure me, probably another time. The my market, we just talked about it. So my big question to you is that the post-digital era is here. What are you guys going to do? Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mark. Really enjoyed that. I think I probably speak from everyone here to say we're glad you didn't go for a run this morning and you have the energy to present to us. I suppose with all these trends that we have, and I'm probably a good example of it, we like technology, but I still hold my pen as well, just in case.
That helps.
Just a couple of questions that we have here that are kind of grouped together, and they're kind of around the privacy and data exchange sort of space, and also information asymmetry. So we have large corporates who have a lot of data on people, and then you have sometimes portrayed as defensive customers.
Yes.
Who it seems like an unequal kind of relationship there between those two. Just wondering, in your work, do you come against those concerns, and how do companies and entities tend to respond to privacy concerns and those sorts of things?
So that's a great question. And I was talking about blockchain. So I think blockchain, again, I think this is something that we're going to see deployed in the next 3 years, probably, very quickly across absolutely every industry. But what they do is that they really trace the data. They don't encrypt the data. They don't try to obfuscate, basically, the data. And there's additional technologies like they're kind of connected to that. And I was talking about homomorphic encryption. Homomorphic encryption in a simple way, and that's something that our labs is working on, is to take data, you encrypt the data, you take the encrypted data from your friend, so your partner, that doesn't want basically you to understand his data. So you take 2 types of encrypted data, you can send that to an algorithm that can be itself encrypted. It runs on the encrypted data, the output is encrypted, and it's exactly the result of the algorithm. So the idea is that you're going to be able to manage, process, and encrypted data without decrypting those data all the time. And the reason why it's going to be very important is that, again, going back to Industry 6.0 or any type of partnership that we want to have, is that big machine, when they need to be operated much better, much faster and everything, the equipment manufacturer of the machine would like to get the data from all the customer that are using it. Or in the semiconductor industry, for example, a company like ASML or NXP would like to get the data from Nikon, from Canon and everything to understand exactly how they can improve the data, their machine. Right now, it's difficult to share that because it's highly private. There's a whole know-how of this. When we're going to be able to encrypt that, then we're going to be able to do much more. So this is the type of technology we're working on.
So we have a very timely question here coming in through Slido, and it's in relation to Hurricane Lorenzo.
Okay.
With Hurricane Lorenzo about to hit, how many hyper-individualization and its association with consumerism and sustainability and climate change? So how does technology interface with what we're facing in terms of sustainable investing and changes in the environment? Do you see anything particular there across your labs?
It does. So first of all, I've been running a lab for 5 years now, and when I got the job, my kids told me that I had probably the best job in this company and I had to do something meaningful at least. and not try to sell only solutions to clients. So we embarked together with my kids and the rest of the company to a big program called Tech for Good. And Tech for Good is exactly that. It's try to leverage technology on how we can change, the world, or fighting big causes like hunger cause and everything, but climate change as well. I want to give you an example of things that we've been doing. So we've been partnering with the ornithology, so this association for birds in India. And what we're doing is that the Indian people are really good because they take a lot of pictures. So you can have a whole crowdsourcing capability of people taking pictures of birds. And there's a lot of species in birds in India. So what they do is they take pictures. And what we do is we use a big cloud to get all these pictures and do machine learning to recognize where are the birds and where they've been geolocalized. And with this, we send that basically to a whole system that can predict through the migration of the birds what's the climate change. And I believe that more and more we'll be able to use birds and animals as sensors to predict what's going to happen and how we can counter it.
Birds as sensors and digital toasters. It's
pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty cool. Just the last one from Slido here from the audience. You talked about quantum computing.
Yes.
And I think the concept of quantum computing is something that has moved its position from science fiction into maybe commercial fact.
Yes.
When do you think it's going to start delivering solutions at scale?
So I was telling you that we're working with Biogen on the drug discovery platform. We're in several generations of this. I mean, my gut feel is that those kind of platform, probably not the one from Biogen, but other clients, will come to play probably in the next 5 to 10 years' time. So it's difficult to say, but like, let's say 5 years, we're going to see some. I want to say that in terms of revolutions, I mean, I was talking about some patents that we're doing. The third one we're going to have, it's a patent related to optimization for organ donation. You say, like, what the hell has organ donation do with quantum computing? Think about it. When someone has an accident and then we have to take basically, and he died, and we take the organs to transport to a receiver, between the donor and the receiver, you need to run an algorithm, optimization algorithm. That runs on classical computing today. It has like a time frame of 2 to 3 hours max when the organ is in a ice box to be transferred. The problem is that 2 hours is not enough to have the best match. If you use quantum computing, you'll be able to do that. So this is where exactly we're doing. We've been working with NHS, get their algorithm and repurpose that for quantum. I believe we're going to see that more and more. And better optimization, less risk, better optimization, all these different things. So I think, I said like probably in 5 years' time, we'll see real things.
So thanks, Marc.
My pleasure.
A real tour de force. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.